should know better, 'cause you always do this to me.
Hey Flamigos, it's your girl Black Flamigo, aka Miss Flaws and All, and I'm back again with my 30 days of yoga. Today is day 13, and we're getting into like basically the perfect flow to start your day. So I have a lot of students that kind of complain to me about like their jobs and how they have to sit a lot. So when you guys are ready to tap into this great low body, great overall full body opener, go ahead and meet me on your mat. I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of options today, especially if you're working to open your hips or if you're already familiar with like some of these stretches. This is going to be a great way to improve your range and to increase your flexibility. So we're going to start off with some seated movement, maybe coming into a cross-legged position, maybe legs are long. This is your practice, so you guys get like as comfortable as you want to get. I encourage the props, maybe a yoga blanket, things to soften the knees as we work on the hips, whatever you need, and maybe a yoga strap. This is going to be like a great flow, so let's go ahead and get started maybe with some seated breaths, just setting our intention, getting really clear about ourselves, our practice, our focus. Extending gratitude for the moment that we have and the bodies that we have. And we're just going to love on it today as we work to improve it and make it better. So, as you guys are ready, maybe rolling onto the knees for some seated work, whether it's seated cat and cow, or maybe you're breathing those arms up and overhead like me. And coming down into child's pose. This is where I'm going to start today. But feel free to make some movement that feels good for you and your body. Now I'm going to inhale up to cow pose and then exhale back to the child's pose. From there you can flow or maybe take a longer moment in child's pose. Inhale, scooping the heart forward, keeping chest low, finding upward facing dog this time. Exhale, pressing back for child's pose. We're going to keep this serpent-like flow going at our own pace, at our own breath. Inhaling, scooping that heart forward, finding the upward facing dog. Squeezing glutes, tops of the thighs reaching down towards the earth. Exhale, pressing palms away, pressing upper body away, child's pose. Option to flow or to take a twist, maybe threading the needle. Whatever feels good for you, maybe adding another flow. If you're in that thread the needle, maybe wrapping the top hand behind the back for a little more. And unthread. We're going to take it to the opposite side when you're ready. Threading needle. Opening the heart. Opening the shoulders. Option for another bind. Softly releasing when you're ready. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, maybe pressing back. Option to take a few rounds of cat and cow here. Option to just listen to your body and find some stretches that call to you. Now I'm adding a little bit of like circular movement in with my cat and cow. And of course, after you bring that cat and cow in circles through the hips and shoulders, make sure you reverse whatever movement you introduce. Take it in the opposite direction. Keep everything equal and fair. Now, I like that we're moving slow to start. We have a lot more today planned, so go ahead and take your own moment here to reset. And I'm going to step the foot through, stacking knee over ankle, inhaling the hands overhead to stack shoulders over hips. Go ahead and exhale the hands down to frame the foot. Extend the legs straight for runner's lunge, flexing toes back towards the face. Inhale, rebend the knee, and you're going to go ahead and switch sides. First, taking around the cat and cow to reset. Maybe dropping into child's pose. Inhale back to your tabletop position. And you're gonna exhale, step the opposite foot through. Inhale, lift those hands overhead, coming up for a low lunge, stacking knee over ankle. Exhale, hands down, hips back, extending leg as straight as you possibly can. You're going to keep the hands down to frame the foot, and then you're going to step foot back when you're ready and get ready to take another round of cat and cow to reset. We have another round here, but this time you have the option to go ahead and come to your downward facing dog instead of the tabletop. So option to intensify or to stay in the tabletop version. That's okay too. If you're in down dog, go ahead and pedal out those heels. Keep pressing chest back towards the thigh, and then we're gonna walk the feet in. Inhale to that flat back. Exhale to fold, and then inhale to rise to the top of the mat. Exhale, go ahead and come all the way back down, hands to midline, forward fold. Inhale halfway, hands to shins, shoulders to hip height. Exhale, hands down. You're gonna hop or step to the back of the mat into that high plank position, shoulders over wrists. You can drop the knees here. Elbows in. Inhale, lifting up for upward facing dog. Squeeze the glutes, hips are low. Exhale, pressing back for child's pose or downward facing dog if you're ready. Inhale, stepping the foot through. Option to drop the back knee for low lunge. Front knee is 90 degrees over ankle. Inhale those hands up. Stack the shoulders over the hips. Find that full lunge if you can. Exhale the hands down to frame the foot and extend the legs straight. Now, when you're ready to press back and reset, we're going to find it a moment to drop to the knees, shoulders over wrists. Go ahead and hug the elbows in on the way down. Inhale, find upward facing dog, squeezing glutes. Exhale to downward facing dog or child's pose, eventually pressing the downward facing dog. We're going to step opposite foot through when you're ready. Drop the back knee. Inhale, lift the hands. Notice the front knee 90 degrees over ankle. Or you can lift up to that high lunge, okay? Exhale, hands down. And we're going to start to extend the legs straight. Hips are back, runner's lunge. Or actually, that's kind of like pyramid pose. So feel free to adjust if you need to. I'm going to take another moment to lower through chaturanga, dropping the knees. Go ahead and hug the elbows in on the way down. Inhale, lifting up, squeezing glutes. Exhale, pressing back. Child's pose to downward facing dog, whatever you need here to reset. Actually, I think this time we do stay in child's pose, and then we're going to come up for pigeon. Okay, so sliding knee through one at a time, framing the hands to the knee, and then inhale those hands up. We're going to exhale, fold over the front knee. Now, remember your back knee can be bent or straight. It's up to you. Either way, taking a long breath down the leg and enjoying this hip opener here. I love this pose. It's great for the glutes. It's great for those desk job people who need a moment to kind of like have this kind of release. Now, if you want to reach back for the foot, I encourage it. I honestly encourage it so that you can kind of grow to more flexibility in the hips and freedom in the shoulders as well. Maybe coming to flip the grip or, working that into your practice if that's a part of your practice. Now, I know a lot of people don't practice that, and that's okay. I'm going to give you another option here. Reaching around with the same hand to foot. You can try to hook the top of the foot into elbow crease and come up for mermaid or variation. Even if you can't hook the foot into elbow crease, maybe just reaching back and grabbing the foot, and that's all, right? Just working to increase the flexibility in the hip flexor. Now, you guys are going to take a moment and kind of explore that pose, reset whenever you're ready so that we can switch to the opposite side. Take your time to get out of that pose. I know it gets a little complicated when you get all deep. Taking a moment maybe to stretch out if you need to, release. Take a moment for you, okay? Now we have two sides. Of course, we're gonna work that opposite side. So sliding opposite knee through the hands when you're ready. Framing the hands over the knee or to one side of the knee. Inhaling hands up to stack the shoulders, and then exhale, letting upper body fall gently over the knee. Finding pigeon pose. Remember your option. You can bend the back knee or keep it straight. Find a long breath. Just let the spine be long over the body, over that front knee. So this is great for the glutes again, great for just the low body in general. And we want to find some range that's comfortable for us. Maybe adding that back leg in to intensify the stretch if you like that. But if it feels like you know, maybe it's a little hard, go ahead and adjust. Find the level that works for you. Now I'm gonna throw in my flip the grip because I just love it. I'm just doing what feels good for my body, so don't feel pressured to do the same. Do something that feels good for your body. Now we're going to go ahead and shift to our mermaid pose, reaching back with the same hand to foot and eventually working the top of the foot into elbow crease if you can, or just simply trying to work the strap into your practice, maybe wrapping the strap around the top of the foot, finding your level here, okay? It's going to be important that you find your level before you work the top hand up to try to clasp the hands together. But as you can find your range, go ahead and challenge yourself there, okay? Now, when you're ready, go ahead and slide the knee back. You can reset by finding child's pose and lingering here for a little bit. We have another hip opener exercise or flow. So, as you guys are ready, coming back to tabletop. And then we're going to extend the leg one at a time, long, and step the foot to the outside of the hand. Same hand as the foot that you're stepping in front. And you're going to lift that hand up and reach behind you maybe, or maybe stack the shoulders. Up to you. Basically, you're going to step the foot one at a time, or step the feet one at a time to the outside of the hand. So left foot to the outside of left hand, right foot to the outside of right hand. Switch sides, of course. And then whatever foot you step to the front of the mat, the same hand is going to lift up so that you twist your chest into that thigh, and that's going to intensify that stretch a little more. You can even reach that hand like kind of behind you, maybe resting towards the leg. So go ahead and see, I'm stepping my right foot to the outside of right hand. I'm going to lift my right hand up and then reach behind, maybe reaching towards my left leg or something like that, relaxing that hand behind me, or maybe stacking that hand to sky. Then I'm going to push back and runner's lunge for a moment before I completely step the foot back and switch to opposite side. Inhale, twisting to open the chest, reaching hand behind me. Exhale, bring a hand back to the front, to the inside of the foot, and then pushing my legs straight for a moment in runner's lunge before I rebend and switch sides. Okay, so you guys can feel free to continue that flow, or maybe add in a little more movement. Maybe add in some fluidity through the spine for that upward facing dog to child's pose flow. Honestly, this is like about you creating your own movement that feels good for you each and every day. So take your own movement here. I'm going to stay in child's pose for a moment before I reset. I like to add in a little moment of inversions. I love inversions at the end of my practice because they like help me kind of to focus in on all the work that I've been doing in my breath. So I'm taking a moment for pinch or play. You guys can do headstand, or if pinch is in your practice, I invite you just to get a little like fun and invert for a moment. Even if it's just in downward facing dog, it can be a simple inversion just like that. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just like give yourself a moment to get all the blood rushing to your head. Like focus, just focus. And then you guys can go ahead and settle down and like reset with the child's pose to like counteract all that movement that we did today. Go ahead and feel free to add a twist. You can thread the needle, maybe add an additional bind. Just searching for some movement that feels good for you, opening that feels good for you. I want to thank you guys, of course, for sharing your space and your practice with me. Be sure to take the thread the needle to other side, or whatever stretches that you have. Make sure you're taking to both sides. I really love that we can kind of flow together. So I appreciate you guys tuning in to my 30-day challenge. It's day 13, and we are just about finished with our practice. I'm going to take a few more just spinal movements and like kind of to like reset and like breathe some movement back into my body before I sit into seated fold and take a few twists. I'm going to invite you guys to find whatever movement feels good for the end of your practice. If that's a seated twist, make sure you take it to both sides. Keep the spine as tall as you can. Keep that breath flowing and let it allow you to expand, increase your flexibility, increase your awareness. Switching sides gently. Taking a moment to reset. maybe adding a little more. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's practice. It was just a gentle like warm-up flow or activation flow to start our day. So thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I want to thank you guys for tuning in with me for another day of practice. The light in me, honors your light. Namaste. See you, Flamigos, in the next video. It's been real. Peace and blessings.